Hi, this is Amberly, and welcome to Transmuting Chaos. I just posted a video and they took it down because I mentioned something about some health stuff. And usually I think I sound just a little bit out there enough where they don't do that to me, but I don't usually talk about that stuff anyways that much. But okay, so two viewers wanted to know about astral interference during sex that I was talking about, and I can't go into what that is. Like, when we were born here, they did something and it messed with our immune system. And I explained that in another video, and I hope you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. But I've mentioned before, like, AIDS and COVID-19 are like AI, and that messed with us and all of that stuff. But what I've seen is, so at the beginning of this, I had 4 months where they were showing me like everything, all the ins and outs of the astral, like control rooms and all that. And I've talked about like how I was seeing that they were harnessing like children's dreams in there. And it was almost like I was in a ship, but I think it was like maybe the dome here. I don't know, but it was like a crystal plasma. And I was seeing like all these dreams being viewed. And I was really concerned about these 5 astral avatars. And all of them were men except for there was a cartoon like Sophia. And every time I closed my eyes, I would see like the guys, like they had like these detachable penises and they would spray out like this blue and black tractor beam, like it was like a light beam. And they were saying that it was semen. Well, then they were showing me that they can mess with our scripts and our DNA through astral attachment. And where is it? Hold on. Okay. So around that time is when I got hit with that beam from the star. And then this reptilian was swirling this energy in my frontal lobe from the Kundalini. And I started feeling this intense energy pounding on me. Well, all of that is intermingled, and I can't explain it now because they just flagged me, but you can see this is what I was talking about, the shape that my coffee makes every day, and it's from this like Sirius star that they broadcast this energy. And see, it looks like an eye exactly. And I have like 2 other pictures. I'm gonna do a whole other video on this, but it's the pupil shape and the iris. Well, after the summer, I had this huge portal come through, and it looked like the sun, but there was like all the rays, you know, when the sun's going down at night, when the rays get really bright and colorful, that was all inside of it instead of like shining out. And it was in my bedroom. and it blew a huge hole like in my astral body. Well, after that happened, I started hearing this like tinkling, like bell sound, and I could feel it like from where this energy usually blasts onto me. And my coffee started making like a swirling shape instead of the usual eye shape. So I definitely think that something happened over the summer, some kind of shift. But anyway, so they were showing me that um they mess with our scripts, and it's kind of like a game to them in the astral, and that it says that the fallen angels like raped Eve. And that's what I was seeing, that these like tractor beams of light are like the fallen angels, and they mess with us, but they don't ever show you who they are. That's the problem with the astral, like really bad, is that everybody's using these. It's completely anonymous. Like you don't know who's there or what's doing this to you. It's all like avatars and cartoons and all this technology, and we're just being hit from every angle by them, and they steal voices, everything. So okay, also somebody wanted to know about this Bitcoin demon that I saw. And so this Elliot, he is either an Aeon itself, or he is like an avatar, like an angel of an Aeon. I'm not quite sure. But when I first had my Kundalini, I woke up and I saw this sparkly Satan with a red star on his chest. Well, a few days later, I woke up and I saw this reptilian slug thing, and he's like sitting behind my boyfriend's head. Like we were laying in bed, and he was right there when I woke up. And he had on like this rainbow and gold robe on. And he said, Elliot the idiot. And he said that we used to be best friends. Well, then I started seeing visions of this Asian guy named Elliot. And the first one was him, and he was drawing something. And I just got the knowing that he was being tortured and made to draw animals. And I've had a ton of like things happen with birds, like flying through the house, all kinds of stuff. I've seen them fly like stop motion, like a film strip. I had one like come out of my mouth one morning, and just horrible torture with birds. And I was seeing that he had something to do with that. Well, Silvio had made a video, I think it was, and he had mentioned something from that book, Can You Stand the Truth? And I guess they were talking about some of the Aeons were tortured and made to draw the animals here. Well, in the Nag Hammadi and all that, they make it like they were guiding them here. What I've seen is they were actually like drawing them like magic for here. And that's what I saw with him. And he's shown me all kinds of things like to do with torture and birds. And one in particular, so I was helping him with these simulations that we were doing before here, is what I've seen over and over again. And one, he was like levitating, and I was like the eye in the sky. So what we would do is, it's like you lock eyes together, and this can only be done through complete trust. And that's what these Archon have been trying to force on us here. And that's why we have this stupid simulation that's just repetitive and doesn't do anything, because they're trying to force it with AI. And so what we would do are these little simulations, write out like a story, and then help each other with it. And the Eye in the Sky would record everything, and then we would take that whole entire experience and like take it apart, like take the beautiful pictures and then form it into other stories and go on like to the next whatever we were wanting to work out. And so one of them, he was like learning how to levitate through meditation, and I was the Eye in the Sky, and so I like flew into his sight, and I could see him like flying over these like Indonesian like monk type guys, and we were flying over them. And then he had one where he was the storyline was that he was married to a witch, and she poisoned him with something that made him like it made it seem like he died, but he really didn't. And then they did a sky burial for him, and he woke up in the middle of it, and these birds were like eating him, and I was like in there in his sight, and it was terrifying. It's one of the most terrifying things I've gone through. So then, like I explained on my last video, I saw him creating this carbon grid suit. And I'm not sure what they were doing, but it seemed like, because I saw this little avatar, Sophia, it seemed like they were trying to make something for AI to be in the scene with them and actually feel. And I'm not positive about that, but that's what it looked like. And they were doing it, he was making it with magic. And this was after I saw him doing some like demiurge work with this Yoda guy. And he had got the demiurge down to his last form. And when I saw him doing that, he was like, I'm not doing that again ever. And then they were together like in this alchemy lab kind of thing in the Aeon, and I was seeing them from outside, and he was showing her this grid that he had made with carbon, and she had got hypnotized, and I think that Yoda demon was somehow wove into that carbon grid, because I saw him fall and the carbon dust like went into this little Sophia avatar, and she was all messed up, and she came out and she was talking to this lunacy who's like a digital magician, like in this realm of magic. And he might have actually had something to do with that. I don't know yet. But she said, you don't understand, that's Elliot. And he said, no, it isn't. And she passed out, and she was like on the dome of the earth. And all of this carbon stuff went into the earth. And then I saw it like circling behind the sun. And that was like what was holding the sun up. It was like a black sun, but it was carbon, like in a spiral form. And then I saw it in the Ark of the Covenant, like in the pyramid, circling in that, and there was a huge beam of radiation coming out of it. And then I saw that that was like in our body. So anyways, I saw this Yoda guy had thrown up a couple significant holograms one night, and one was this Bitcoin demon, and he was like a carbon grid suit like that, but he was a demon. And then I saw that this virtual reality of ascendance in the near future, that it wasn't actually like currency anymore. It was like who had the best AI, the most ruthless AI, and that's what they were using. And this guy controlled them all, and he was really, really messed up. And I hear it a lot, like in my left ear, I'll hear this like demonic, mechanical voice, and that's part of that. But yeah, those were the two things that people had asked me to go more into detail about. And Oh, to do with that Sirius I broadcast. Like, I guess Sirius means iris, like in Spanish. And that's where I get like a lot of this info. And in the Nag Hammadi, Jesus is telling Judas that his star is lying to him and that he listens to his star. And that's this like red star, the Sirius kind of like broadcast because it's the Satan and God program. So it lies. And that's what the Yoda guy is always getting broadcast from. This Abraxas character. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this art style again. This is the style that I see in this realm of magic. And I've been looking into some of the artists for like tarot and a lot of these different magical tools for divination and the artists behind it, because I think that this Abraxas guy is channeling this like artwork from the Aeon to these like secret societies, because I've seen him, like I've seen them channeling him. But I don't know if you guys have ever read this book. It's the Baron Trump novels. I got through like 2 pages of it, and it's just a spell book big time, so I didn't read it. But all of this like scribing technique, there's like magic symbols and everything in that. And that's also what they put in our TV programming and graphics and things. That's all like hidden and embedded in all these graphics, and has to do with like the technology and how it works with like the magnetite in your brain and the crystal in your brain. That's another thing I wanted to show you real quick before I get into. Okay. So the crystals in your ear are shaped like Saturn, like a hexagon. And I noticed all of this like when I had Morgellons and I had stuff coming out of me. I was like, what the heck is this? Well, it was like crystal kind of stuff. And I noticed that they were like hexagon. But you have that in your inner ear, and that's what is getting these super low frequencies that we can't hear are running the script through us. And it's all like a Wi-Fi system. And this grid inside of us, hold on. In humans, these crystals have a hexagonal shape. These structures are found suspended in the canals of the ear. And also, this is the radiation, what I was talking about with the mercury dome, heating a body to an incandescent temperature, as in the case with solar UV, or by passing an electric current through a gas, usually vaporized mercury. And I need to do another video about this, but I was watching something about how they created Mary Poppins, and that kind of technology isn't, they're not able to replicate it now. Well, they were using something like that, like a mercury vapor or something. I'll have to find the video. But the original Wizard of Oz, like when they talk about the Emerald City wasn't really green. The Oz gave them like these green tinted glasses, and then that made it look green. Well, that's the same thing that I've seen with this, is that it's like a green film strip projecting the trees and everything. Okay, so the artist for the tarot I found. Uh, okay. So Yeats introduced Smith to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which she joined in 1901, and in the process met Arthur Edward Waite. When the Golden Dawn splintered due to personality conflicts, Smith moved to Waite to the Independent and Rectified Rite of the Golden Dawn, or Holy Order of Golden Dawn. In 1909, Waite commissioned Smith to produce a tarot deck with the appeal to the world of art, and the result was the unique Waite Smith tarot deck. It has endured as world's most popular 78 card tarot deck. The innovative cards depict full scenes with figures and symbols on all the cards, including the pips, and the Smith's distinctive drawings have become the basis for the design of many subsequent packs. In 1911, Smith converted to Roman Catholicism after the end of the First World War. Smith received an inheritance from an uncle that enabled her to release a house on the Lizard Peninsula in Cornwall. Smith left. Okay. And then you guys can read all about this. I'll do another video going more into detail. Pamela Coleman Smith is her name. And she also, there was something in here about the West India slave trade, something about it. But this goes really deep, like into the women's feminist movement and how that has affected us, and like how that is all magic and a reverse of feminism, and also what it all this energy that gets like bound to this artwork. And the Aeon, what they were doing, I mean, it's like living art. It's not physical like craft. That's what the Archon brought here, is craft. They brought makeup, herbs, the whole medical field, weapons. I have a whole thing of magic that I wrote out that they use on us every day. But all of this craft that they brought, and that's our essence that they're like selling back to us, and this witchcraft, like to disguise death. I'm going to go into what the Aeon were doing. They were locking eyes and doing these simulations together and creating elements, all this stuff, like through their consciousness. It wasn't through physical matter. So this is like a reverse completely of that. Even even the whole birthing process, the design of it is almost like parasitical. And all of that is reverse, like I've mentioned in my video before, of what we were doing. So I found this I was looking at like your eyes under a black light, and this article came up, and it's under the Aeon newsletter. I was like, oh, what a coincidence. But it's talking about like photons and quantum entanglement. As individual light particles of light, photons belong to the world of quantum mechanics, a place that can seem totally unlike the universe we know. Physics professors tell students with a straight face that an electron can be in two places at once, quantum superposition, or that a measurement on the photon can instantly affect another. Accept these incredible ideas so casually. Maybe we accept these incredible ideas so casually because we don't have to integrate them into our daily existence. An electron can be in two places at once, a soccer ball cannot. But photons are quantum particles that human beings can, in fact, directly perceive. Experiments with single photons could force quantum world to become visible, and we don't have to wait around. Several tests are possible with today's technology. And then it's talking about while a human observer might even participate in a test of the strangest consequences of quantum entanglement, which is exactly what we have going on here. And you can look at this. I haven't checked out this whole thing yet, but this is a really good article. Seeing the quantum. And they know this. They know how amazing we are, and they have to let go to for us to experience it. And that's the whole thing with this magic. It's an illusion of power, and they're gripping onto this power struggle, and we have to be completely free to ever be able to experience what we are truly capable of. And that's the whole thing. They're trying to force it on us, like with technology and all this magic, and they always have. And it's just sucking the light out of us. So I wanted to go into how much magic they use on us daily that you can see for yourself. And the whole thing with like all this healing, these healing techniques and everything online, all of this, like if you look into Scientology and everything, it's the same thing. And it's all like directly descended from the Order of the Golden Dawn, and even before that, like Kabbalah and all that. These techniques of magic and hypnosis that they've used on us, and they use it on us all the time. And after I had an NDE and I went to the spirit realm at the beginning of this, and when I came back, I felt my spirit for the first time in a really long time, and I was like, this is what I am going to spend everything the rest of my life taking care of. This is what I should have. This is the void that I've been trying to fill. And we really have to protect our subliminal mind, all these things that they've been getting at us, to us, and we didn't have any knowledge of. And they've done a lot of damage, but just us knowing what they're using and to keep ourselves from it as much as possible is taking our power back. And all these techniques, everything, it's all the same thing. So, I mean, if you had a brand new newborn baby, would you trust anyone that you have only seen on TV with that baby? Well, we trust them with everything every day. And, doing hypnosis on it, all this stuff is just, when you really think about it, you're like, why do we do this? I mean, we're voting them in to the government. We have no idea, we know that they're not good. Look at our history. This has never been good, and we just keep looping and doing the same thing, putting our trust into people that have never ever had our best interest at heart. It's always money and power. Okay, so these are different magic that they use on us every single day. So geomancy, divination using earth energy, necromancy, funeral rituals, embalming, stone carvings, and monuments, esoteric symbolism, both seen and hidden, spells, food, music, entertainment, both subliminal and in plain sight, alchemy, food or body, our body, elixirs, pharmaceuticals, alcohol, illegal drugs, astrology, stock market, world events, access to astral bodies and scripts. 7, music notes or spells, timing and frequency unlocks neural pathways. Black mirror, crystal plasma screens, scrying and portal channels. Tarot and planning scenarios and opening portals, access to life script. All types of art under possession and torture, the trauma essence bound. Money magic, deep binding of our trust and freedom. Metallurgy, alchemical magic of metals, metaphysical essence of spirit. Herbs and elixirs, masks and temporary relief of the dying body. Hypnosis of nature and technology. So Saturn's is nature backwards. The movement and timing of nature's sway keeps us in the constant state of hypnosis. Technology synthetically and aggressively forces hypnosis. 5G and Wi-Fi, radio waves, satellites, intrusive frequency and information, Sirius satellite radio. And then books and scriptures, all media from the system, nothing gets promoted that is not part of the system. Gems and stones encapsulate essence and also used to run quantum tech. And they use slave labor to mine and also tied to our heart template. And then video games implant deep into the psyche. So that was like off the top of my head that I did, and I'm going to go like way more into detail of all this stuff, but your brain works just like a music box, like music notes. So the geomancy, the astrology, the stars, the planets, all of that are tied together, and they can tap into all of this, and just the music, the light that they use, the graphics, everything. Your eyes and ears are portals. So that opens that up, and then they can target whatever area in your brain or your body that they want, because this is all that they do. They know us, they know our body completely. They're the form the soul technology. And in the Nag Hammadi, like I read last time, the powers began to create. The first one, goodness, created a soul of bone. The second, forethought, a soul of sinew. The third, divinity, a soul of flesh. The fourth, lordship, a soul of marrow. The fifth, kingdom, a soul of blood. The sixth, jealousy, a soul of skin. And the seventh, understanding created a soul of hair. So all of these are binding agents in our body. And that's what makes these grids like connects everything for this script to run through us. And it's like Morse code, and it comes from the stars, it comes from our body, it comes from the ground. And it's just this frequency nonstop, and it's pumping this script through us, and nobody really thinks about like, where does this stuff come from and what is it doing? Well, it's running the whole entire illusion. So they tap into us, they program. I think every person is different and they know exactly who to target with what kind of stuff. And that's what I really want us to start to see this and wake up and start to go in and feel our own body and clear our own mind. And especially like with the nature, I like to keep everything as pure as I can, like looking at a white wall or be out in nature and clear those parts of my mind. And I'll go more into detail like how I do that. But we really have to start taking our trust out of everything else and putting it back into ourselves, because that is, we put in God we trust, like on the money and on government and everything. And that's where we've been putting all of our trust, is like the Black Mirror, the TV, all of that runs the world and money. And look at our world. It's absolutely insane that we have trusted all of this for so long, but it's not because we're stupid. It's because they hypnotize us. And after I had my Kundalini, I saw like how anything could look like my thoughts, anything. It was absolutely amazing. But that's how they have a grip on us, and we're not seeing our reality for what it really is. So I want us to really break through and learn about our body and our true nature, who we are. So, okay, thank you very much, and I will see you soon.